Emuna is our future with effective care. We are going to go into a subject which I am not an expert on at all. Thank God there are plenty and plenty of people in the world more expert as me in terms of being effective in caring for another person. Thank God I'm married to someone who I believe is a very good example of an effective caregiver, someone who's truly devoted to caring for her family, and she's now, as we speak, studying to become a volunteer for ambulance service, MADA, very praiseworthy. So based on the fact that I'm surrounded by a person like this, and this week's Parsha's Vayetze Yaakov, is giving us the light of how to care for another human being. It's giving that insight, that inspiration, that motivation, that light, that awe. And every week we get that gift of inspiration and awe coming free of charge. All you have to do is be open and build a vessel, a kli. Yes, someone saying shalom from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Nice to see you. Been a while. So we have the opportunity together in the Emuna is our future weekly Monday class, 3:30, and also Eastern time, 8:30. We go live on our YouTube platform and our Facebook platform to experience a little bit of the Emuna light that's available on a weekly level. I do apologize I'm not in the studio. I was hoping this week I would be back in the studio, but the issue became, just making sure you guys are seeing okay. Yes, you'll keep me updated. Everything's working. We just want to let you know that unfortunately the studio person needs a refuah shlema. He is unwell, and I don't want to start bothering other people to come in. So I've made up to be back in the studio, hopefully him having a full refuah shlema, and we'll dedicate the class. Back in the studio hopefully next week, next Monday. We did not have a Muna class yesterday with Rav Shalom Orish, our host. We had a Muna class on the previous week, recorded version, which we put up now on all our platforms already. It went live last night on our Breslov English. It was already live on a few other places in the previous week. And it was great to join you from our studio in Jerusalem after a wonderful Muna tour. We spoke about that. Vayetze Yaakov, I feel the love out there. Thank God it's pouring in on the Facebook Live. Remember, you guys can contribute to the class, get the energy, be caring in your response. We have that new care button on Facebook. I don't know if it's there on YouTube, but we are all together able to join in a real way on a weekly level. That a community is somewhat being built over here. I can, recognize some of the people, Miss Martinez, people are reaching out on a weekly level, and it means a lot to us. I just wanted to check exactly what's going on the YouTube. It's not going so well, the live feed. I'm just going to make sure, we're good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now with Vayetze Yaakov. What's it about with Yaakov Avinu? What is the whole focus we need to have here? Yeah, 1 minute. Just the YouTube still got stuck or something. Just give it a little bit of a refresh. There we go. Okay, thank you everyone for your patience while we're just getting this little technical issue fixed. It's funny because on the tour, one of the people with us was saying I definitely need to get a better phone for this service, and that is being proven true. Okay, let's see, we're live. Okay. You guys can see me, you can hear me. Okay, I think it's frozen the video, funny enough. But we'll recommend you head over to Facebook, whoever's on YouTube, where you can watch me move around. But either way, so we're getting a lot of love over here on Facebook. So we're going to focus on being Vayetze Yaakov. What does it mean to go out and to be an effective caregiver, someone who's caring? So Yaakov didn't go out for himself. He didn't go out to make big bucks or to make a name for himself. He went out to build families, to build homes, to build the future of his descendants. He was building the future for all eternity. He was on a mission of truth, a mission of focus and effective life, where he was able to be a shepherd, but it was done in such a way where he was effectively saving the world. So we have to understand that there is a mission for all of us. I'm just going to still figure around with this YouTube again a little bit. Maybe we'll get somewhere. Okay, just sharing. This might help. My YouTube needs some care as well, I think. Okay, we're going to... What time? You guys are amazing. You're so patient. Okay, it's a good world. Exactly why I got stuck, I'm not sure. Okay, so we're going to go ahead anyway. Like I said, whoever's on YouTube, you can join us on the Facebook Live, and there will be working fine. The link has been posted on our community. That is another great thing with the YouTube community we have. We have the opportunity together to remind you that weekly we also are posting classes from Rabbi Cohen as much as possible, and Gedalia Fenster, who is going to be back now with his content, will hopefully be putting up his class, as well as we hope at some point to have Rabbi Elgo come back. Once again, it's up to you to make that happen. Also, would love to have some new speakers, maybe like Jonathan Galed join us again, and other people. In the meanwhile, while we're still building this Breslov English experience and community, we've had the blessing that not only do we have an Emuna class, hopefully weekly, and like I said, this Sunday we posted the recording because the Rav was busy last night. We are posting again on Toronto Community Live Experience, an opportunity for you guys to join us as a Toronto experience with Rav Gislason this Sunday at 8:30 Israel time. I think it's around 2:30 Toronto time. You will be able to join us and experience a wonderful Emuna class, an ability to connect and recreate some of the Emuna tour that we had experienced in person online by joining us there. It's specifically for the Toronto community, but the live feed share will go live for everyone, global, Emuna Global. It's in their merit because they are sponsoring the class, and they're also getting special moments and meetings of time with the Rav, the full day of Sunday and the full day of Monday. Get to meet with the Rav in Zoom or WhatsApp format, and that's a very special Toronto experience. We love coming to there in person, but we're going to be happy with the fact that we can go via Rav Shalom Morish out to the world, out to Toronto through the internet. Anyway, hopefully it'll be working better than my YouTube is right now. But all those people still there. I still see a few people watching. I appreciate the fact that you stick it out and share this video anyway there. I'll load up a better version of this, hopefully on YouTube as well, from the Facebook Live. And we have the ability weekly to touch base on important subjects. We spoke about truth and love. We spoke about very important concepts. And this idea of effectively caring is something which Yaakov Avinu was an expert, and he wasn't maybe learning it from his family. And that's something I would say one of my lackings, not that I'm comparing myself to Yaakov Avinu, but just on my own personal level. I didn't have like the most caring upbringing. Like, they were wonderful parents, and we always have to thank our parents for whatever they did. But it wasn't like done in that caring, like empathetic, more like the way the world has become nowadays, more sensitive emotionally. It wasn't that kind of focus. But the reality is that we've all on some level had to become a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more validating, a little bit more real emotionally, a bit more emotionally intelligent. It's not the type of history where we're able to get away with of just pushing people's emotions aside and getting done what we need to get done. It just doesn't work. So being that we want to be effective in life, and that's one of the courses I made a few years ago for Yeshiva called Ashrenu. It was the 10 Habits of Truly Effective Living, and it was based on Steve Covey's book. We have this idea that this concept of caring and being compassionate and having Rahmanas, and as Hashem himself calls himself Rahmana Libaboy, he wants our heart, himself is named Rahmana, that the idea of someone who has mercy, the merciful one, that is an attribute that's godly, and that Yaakov Avinu was a great teacher for us, all the generations till now, how to become more merciful, how to build homes that have meaningful values and truth-focused lifestyles. For example, Shabbos. We disconnect to reconnect. We have a time in the week where we don't have the phones, we don't have all the gadgets, taking away our time focus, our ability to be present and be emotionally there for the people in front of us. And that's something which can become a big challenge based on the way technology's become, the way society's become. So we have to constantly renew our connection again and again, just like I'm doing on this video with the technical issues. But the wonderful thing is that Hashem gives us that opportunity to constantly begin again and again. And that's a very profound teaching from Reb Nachman from Breslov. He taught us, Reb Nachman ben Fego, Nachman ben Simcha, the idea of beginning again and again is crucial for success in our life, success in our spirituality. Here we have someone saying shkoyach on YouTube. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I don't know what happened to the video, but either way, we're here together, thank God, on the audio, at least on the YouTube. And once again, I will be posting a new version, if not on the Best of English, on one of our other channels, like Best of Torah English. Thank God we have a bunch of backup channels for these kind of things. One of the concepts is that I'm personally always prepared for technical issues, especially the fact that I'm not in the studio today, but especially the fact that, suddenly the YouTube went funky. I have to be prepared, and that's part of our journey as a human nation right now in Tafshin Pei Base. Teishin As Pnosa B'Shefa. It's a year where there should be a lot of divine abundance. It's a time where we have to really get ourselves into a focus of versatility. For example, in Israel, they've changed the policies with the whole Corona experience, when people can visit, but only if you're vaccinated. And then now they've put taxes on the chad pami, on all the plastic goods. And you suddenly have to switcheroo and change your mindset that, how you shop and who's able to visit. And yes, are they going to come? Are they not going to come? Is it really affecting change in the policies or is it not? You have to be up to what's going on to be able to impact change. For example, you want your family to visit. Once again, my family have still not visited my children, their grandchildren for over 2 years almost. And that's ridiculous. Like people are meant to have that in-person connection. So thank God there's the online world. And thank God I'm going to go to London in another 2 weeks. So maybe our share then will be in London. And the idea of being versatile, having the emotional intelligence, that is the kind of thing that when you read the Parsha, you go to say Yaakov, and you see Yaakov Avinu, he's going out to where Lavan lives. Haram is in a very difficult society there, a place where they're not really focused on what Yaakov Avinu and Yitzhak and Yaakov and Avraham, they're the kind of place and home that he'd been used to growing up in the Holy Land. And now he's gone out to this place where basically Lavan is busy with other kinds of gods or other ways of divining what's meant to be and all this other stuff going on out there. And he's got to learn how to live his lifestyle, at least maybe not his lifestyle, but at least his beliefs, his values, the truths, the things that Yaakov knows. As it says, Garti, that he didn't lose on one of the mitzvahs being by Lavan. He kept all the mitzvahs, as we're going to hear in next week's parsha when he comes back from there, when we learn this, when he meets Esav, his brother, again, after returning successfully with families, building a family with Rachel and Leah and Bilhah and Zilpah, and having, thank God, 11 children before he entered Eretz Yisrael. And once he entered Eretz Yisrael, 12th child, Binyamin, and all the Shiftei Kah, they became the holy 12 tribes. This kind of focus that we see from the Parsha of being able to go to a place which is hostile somewhat to your value system and is in fact even challenging on a daily level with the business. The way that Lavan did his business was very challenging, very difficult, and yet he was able to pull out from there a tremendous success. He was able to pull out Shefa. We came back with 600,000 sheep. It says they were connected, all the souls. Yes, there were 600,000 souls, root souls of the Bnei Israel. And that's the idea. The children of Israel are 600,000 with the sheep that Yaakov was shepherding. He was shepherding all the souls that would come from all the generations. So all the things he was doing in the realm of Panasa, of making a living to support his growing new families, he was doing it in a difficult environment. He wasn't sleeping. He didn't give sleep to his eyes. He was composing psalms like the Tehillim of Shir Malas. He was creating an environment that his children should prosper and grow, and that his Shalom Bayis, his family life, should be at the best possible state. And that is a big challenge. Like we see this by the Chabad Shluchim, people that go out in the whole world and they build families in the midst of a community which might not be so friendly to what they're doing. And they're constantly hosting and providing all these services for all the visiting people. And it's unbelievable when you look at what a Chabad Shliach, someone who goes out to the world as an agent of the Rebbe, even though he's not here physically, but his mission is eternal, and it goes outwards to the world. So someone like myself was sitting on the beach in Brighton and could have a Chabad Shliach, a Chabad agent there, just a few minutes from my apartment on the beach, far, far away from the campus. But I was right next to the only shul, the only Chabad rabbi, in miles and miles and miles around, the only shul miles and miles around that would inspire me and bring me beginning to plant the seeds of a beautiful home, of what Shabbos is about, and I had beautiful Shabbases there, and I had my first entrance into learning Torah, and that Chabad Shliach was there for me, and he himself said to me, the Rebbe sent me here for you. You are the reason I was sent here with my whole family, just to connect to another soul of Yisrael and make sure that that soul wakes up, so that I could be sitting here now, 20-something years later, 3 years later, sitting in my home in Yerushalayim and learning together. Emuna is our future with effective care, to understand that we're able to be effective in our care, that we're able to affect change in other people by being the best we can be, and being someone who stands up for principles of truth, to bring it into our daily life, to bring it into our daily world. One of the things we're going to be discussing, hopefully in my course tomorrow, the same time, 3:30, 8:30 Eastern, we're going to be talking in a United Souls course. You can sign up below. The links, always got the links below. You can sign up for the Toronto class, join there. You can join the course tomorrow. It's not so expensive, but it gives the support for POVEDU and for what I'm doing personally, to bring together, especially with Emuna, our future class, the opportunity to bring it into practical life in an interactive way that we can discuss back and forth through Zoom. Because I appreciate, one, that people have reached out on the live feeds, but it's a whole nother level to actually see you visually and Zoom, and to discuss back and forth and hear your feedback, and you have questions, you have input. And those Zoom classes, here and there I put up the content, but it's not the same thing as actually being in the class and experiencing it. And once again, when you show your support financially, then you get much more back spiritually, because that's part of the giving. When you give and give, then you get much more later. It's the idea of, our friend Gary Vaynerchuk. We don't hear much from him these days, actually, funny enough. But we always have appreciation for him giving us the podcast opportunity. Once again, it's a growing platform. I looked on the blog version of our podcast, Brez of Israel, and it's had hundreds and hundreds of views, thank God, which is amazing for a new platform. And it's something which, you guys can check it out. We put there a lot of the tour information, a nice summary of the tour of Shalom Morish's tour to Miami and New York. And please God, we're hoping still to do another tour in LA. We just need you guys out there to reach out. Mexico's definitely an option. Arizona, someone who potentially can make it happen. We are open at the end of December, after Hanukkah, to make an in-person tour with Rav Orish. It just needs you guys to make it happen. Personally, I will be in England 2 weeks from now. You can reach out, you English friends of mine. It'll be a pleasure to meet up and connect. And I will also be in England again the following week during Hanukkah, which is Hanukkah already begins at the beginning of the week after, which is the 25th of Kislev, which in the general calendar, I believe, is the 29th of November. But I think the night before, we're already lighting the first candle. The second night is my 20th marriage anniversary, which I spoke about in my Relationship Flow podcast. Once again, check out the link. It's a great class. My wife joins me, my soulmate. You can hear from her as well. So it's not just the masculine, the male, and that kind of energy coming out, but you can hear the other half, my better half, and be able to join together in that podcast on a weekly level, Relationship Flow podcast. Share it out, get it out there. People need inspiration and relationships, and it connects into what we're discussing here once again, being an effective care person. The idea is very difficult. So what am I going to be doing Hanukkah, after my second night Hanukkah anniversary celebration? I'm hopefully flying with Nissan Black to Manchester and then to London to be like a roadie tour manager for his shows there in the UK. And I'm also hoping to help assist generally with the Bright Lights Tour. Make sure we fill up all those spots. So you guys reach out. We put the flyer around here and there. And you're welcome to always reach out to me about all these kind of things. I'm talking to some new opportunities potentially. We'd love to do some work with people like Shlomi Zions. And thank God I already have deals with people like Levi Cohen, and we'd like to bring him on our Emuna class at some point in the future and bring back again Yosef Daniel. It's been a while. We missed that holy soul and friend of ours. And then there's all our other friends. You know, we still didn't bring back the Weinreb brothers, bring them back onto the studio. It'd be great to have a new set of Emuna classes with Avorish and bring a fresh energy with this new year that we're in and warm up these winter months, get some positive vibes musically. It's very important to combine what we're doing here with music. If anyone out there has any recommendations, send it my way, or any previous guests you want them to come back, like Shlomo Katz or Eitan Katz. It'd be an honor to host them again, and it's something which, you know, I feel very honored personally that I get the opportunity weekly to be together with Rav Orish and have a wonderful translation of Diane Elgrod. For Toronto, of Diane Elgrod will be translating hopefully. And for the meetings, we'll have a combination of Rav Diane Elgrod and Rav Ralph Cohen. He's also an amazing translator. The Rav himself said he's very happy with his translation. And once again, we want to give a big thank you to all of you who've been sponsoring and partnering, reaching out weekly. This is showing your care, how you care about Emuna, you care about these concepts that we're teaching. And as I said, in the relationship aspects, this is very difficult. Like, I'm literally going to be caring for Nissim on those 2 days. But even more importantly, before I go, is the family first. The idea of reminding yourself that your family is the priority in everything. That's the way it's supposed to be. Charity begins at home, and it's not just a famous saying for no reason, because it really does begin at home. You have to always say to yourself that it's nice for people out there to know that you're a caring, good person. But the key first things first is you're busy building, like Yaakov did in the Torah. He showed us the way. That he didn't build a big name for himself, even though he sat for many years and learning. The first thing he did with all that Torah and all that spiritual growth is to go and build a family. That is what needs to be done first. So before I fly off with Nissim or go to London or anything else or go to LA, the most important part of preparation for the tour, other than promoting, getting the word out there, and the truth is even that's not that important, the most important part is making sure the family are in a good place, that the wife or whoever it is, if it's the wife going out on tour, the husband, the family, the soulmate connection is the focus. That's why I have in my relationship podcast. I want you guys to think about the relationship flow, how important it is, the people in your life, even if you're not married, the people who are most closest to you, the ones in your sphere of influence who are the most important, and the people who are healthy in your healthy sphere of influence, to give them that energy of love and connection, to remind yourself that on a daily level, we all need this. Everyone is struggling emotionally nowadays and physically. Many people having struggles economically, all kinds of challenges we spoke about last week. We gave strength to people on the challenge aspects. It's worth listening to again. The idea of being strong during these challenges is very important. To keep that strong focus on what your goals, your mission, your dreams are, but then to bring it into real life, to bring it into your daily life, to bring it into the relationships around you. It's not just about schedule, but it's about focus of the people around you. That even while you're preparing for a tour, or you're preparing, and now once again, I'm not good at this. Yeah, like my wife, when I mentioned this class, she was like, "This, how can you talk about it? Like, I know you're aware somewhat of the ideas, but practically, you I don't want to say the word she used, but it begins with S and ends with uk, and it doesn't begin with F. So we're talking about, I'm not good at it. But the point is, by learning it and bringing it out together, this is part of my United Souls course, bringing out these concepts more and more, that's how we improve. By praying for it, as Rav Orish is teaching us again and again, constantly giving ourselves that encouragement. He's put out a beautiful class on Never Alone. Everyone should watch and share this class, Never Alone, from Rav Shalom Orish. It's the key statement that he brought out in the Emuna Tour 2021 of loving, of realizing that Hashem loves you and Hashem only does good for you and Hashem's always with you. And everything is for the good, only good, and to realize you're never alone. Hashem's always there with you to bring out these concepts, hear it from Rav Orish, his holy self, and get into that. I'm sorry, guys, whoever's tuning in, but the YouTube is not working 100%. So once again, You can hear the audio there, but you can go to the live feed on Facebook and get a great video there, or we'll put up a new version, like I said. So just repeating that point, because people just reached out there. The idea that we have the ability to be caring about, well, I'm trying to be caring about you guys who reach it out every week, and I try respond carefully whenever you send me emails. You always have my email below in the links, and you can always partner, and we'll show our appreciation for all our causes. Like I see the institutes here, how much they get from it, and there's opportunities like daily giving. We'd love to collaborate with their organization some point soon in the future. They did say that there's a waiting list. Maybe we'll get on there. If someone knows someone, make it happen. It's all about caring and giving that focus on the family members and the people closest to you that will build the success in life. People always think, the larger picture. I want to be a rock star. That was one of my dreams. I was just watching an interview of Ed Sheeran, and he was building his career. My friend Chucky there in London was interviewing him, and it was more of a conversation than an interview, but it was just really interesting to see the two of them. Like, he's a more normal North London guy, Chucky, from the more black community. That's how he defines himself. I'm not saying it, but then Ed Sheeran is coming from that world, and I come from North London also. He's coming over, and they're bonding a little bit in that kind of flow, especially with the music and the vibe. And it was interesting to see that the thing that he neglected for most of his career was his personal life, his family life. And that was the head change. He had to switcheroo. Now he's getting to 30, and you start to grow up, mature, and hopefully do it sooner than later. He starts tuning into his personal life is more important than this whole career that's taken off with such success. And one of the keys to realize is that a lot of people are successful who God forbid, misrepresent what we should be doing, which they're showing that, just keep hustling, keep getting that, like, mentioned with Gary Vee before, just go, work, content all day, pushing out, pushing. And then they're neglecting what's in front of them, which is their own inner well-being, their own healthiness, healthy lifestyle, their relationships with their loved ones, who they are. They're not putting enough boundaries out with the industry and all the pressure and social media and all the different things that go on. They're busy, gallivanting with all the stars instead of realizing, obviously, and that's one of the things I liked about this interview with Ed, a lot of the people he met, to him, they're normal people. They're not stars. They're human beings. And to take out that whole Hollywood glitter and glam, and to remember that people are people at the end of the day, and that you have to constantly build that inner self. And that's one of the beautiful things being Ravorish on tour, seeing someone who's such a big rabbi, such a tzaddik. And I was just listening to the Meaningful People podcast version. I haven't put it out yet, that episode with Ravorish that we recorded while in 5 towns on our tour. But I listened to the audio because I have it there. But what was beautiful was it was a journey. They wanted to know about his journey to Emuna. It wasn't just straight, oh, you're Ravorish and, so holy. But they wanted to know how he got from growing up, not, Ravorish as we know him, growing up as a young Israeli or Moroccan child and defining his journey in the university, and how he developed into becoming Ravorish, how on a human level, he became a holy rabbi that we all gain so much from, and that humanizes it for us so that we can also, on our own level, realize it's a journey. Like I said, I was on the beach in Brighton. It's not the most, holy beach in the world. It's in fact the opposite of holiness. If I would tell you really what it is, unless for those who know. But I was in such a place, and then I'm sitting here in Yerushalayim Kodesh next to Ravorish weekly. I'm 5-10 minutes away from the Kotel by car. I'm another 5 minutes from my other rabbi, the Tolner Rebbe, and all that holiness of the Mir Yeshiva and Mir Sharim and all the different learning and growing all around me. I'm sitting here in Yerushalayim, just outside the window, and it's all happening. There's a shul literally outside my window with a Sefer Torah and everyday davening, and I can hear it from my window. Amen, Yehei Rabba, every single day. It wakes me up if I don't go to the early minyan, go to the second minyan. It's all happening around me. The world of Torah and spirituality, and there I was in Brighton Beach. And I was just talking to someone just now, Shlomi Zions, on the phone about the Times Square experience, where we brought Emuna into Times Square 2017 with This in Black. I've mentioned it here, I think, but we did a very big performance performance there for Seateen, and you can Google that, Nissim Black Times Square, and you'll see me at the beginning. I was the DJ for Nissim. I was the manager to put that whole weekend together for Nissim Black. And it was opportunities to impact in the most crazy places from where I came from, growing up in the music world, where there would have been a different kind of show in Times Square that I probably would have been involved with if I hadn't gone on this path. But there's no would-haves and could-haves. Here I am, and I'm sharing my time with you on a weekly level, and I know my time's precious. You know, we're only here for 120 years, hopefully, if we're blessed for that. And the point is that we have to grab onto every minute. We have to be effective with our life, but do it with care, do it with love. And this is something which I'm working on, because I know I'm effective. Am I caring? That's something which I need to work on. That is something which we can learn from Yaakov Avinu, that he was building a family. He was building it with care. Each child, each interaction was important. Each person, each business deal, you have to remember that it's done with Emuna. I just saw a nice post from Draw Kasuto, and Moshe Draw Kasuto. I don't really follow his stuff that much these days, but this post came up on my Facebook feed, and this is the idea that we can all inspire each other. Gedalia all the time, see his stuff, inspires me. We're all here and to share it, not just to see it, but to like it and give it love, show appreciation. I'm sharing it now on my platform. The idea he wrote there from Rabbi Nachman that Emuna should bring us to do business, not in a forced way. It shouldn't force people. One of the things I was very careful on this Emuna tour, and I don't know if there was past tours where I wasn't running it like this or other people were, but the idea it should be done with gentleness. How we do things should be done with kindness, with care. These are people with lives, and they're going through their challenges. We care about them. We're there for you, and as much as we can. And if we haven't been, we apologize sincerely if we've missed something. It's a sincere journey. It's a sincere request. It's a sincere process. And when you're with righteous people like Rav Orish, you realize that they're totally present and sincere with the people that's in front of them. And that's the idea that those meetings are so special. And that's why there is the idea that there's sponsorship and partnership for the meetings, because the time is so important, and it's for your sake to partner. It gives you a hishtafus, a partnership, like the course as well. Everything that you guys partner with financially makes a big difference, because now you're opening yourself up. Yaakov Avinu was giving his time. I'm giving my time. He was giving his time to build his family. He was giving his time to build the future for us, so that we can learn from him and we can exist in his merit. The merit of our forefathers and foremothers, same with the mothers, Rachel, Leah, Zilpah, Bill. They built beautiful homes together with Yaakov. It was also their merit, their holiness, their righteousness, their dedication, and their ability to leave their home environment and to move with Yaakov back to the Holy Land, to build the future of the Jewish people in the world, that we're all together. To remember this is a global mission, that it's not just exclusively Jewish, it's for the whole world. Everything we're doing here, all the love and all the connection and all the divine providence and divine energy that we're bringing out is a global mission. We're all on this path together. It's not something exclusive. I'm saying that again and again because it's really important to realize when it says the Love All People campaign. Officially in Hebrew, it's Ani Ohev Kol Yehudi, which seemingly sounds like I love only Jews. But no, the real point of the program is I love everyone. All people, all humankind, everyone has what to offer. Everyone is made in a godly image, has a godly soul. And obviously there are different parts of the soul and there's different missions for each different person. And that's part of that beautiful idea of individualism that we talked about here, that the individual joins together with the community. That's what builds a better world, not making everyone the same, but everyone joining together. I apologize that I'm going on a bit long, but these concepts of being effective and caring are so important. You know, one of the things I wanted to mention today, you know, there's so many good speakers out there, so many, thank God, good thought leaders, such good content that you can surround yourself with on podcast world. And there's so much good stuff to focus on that you don't have to get pulled into all the negativity. You know, you can even learn from, say, someone like Joe Rogan, who's a bit more, like I said many times, he's a bit more of a tough guy, but you can learn from him certain ideas. And one of the concepts that's burning me a little bit is I would love to be more financially independent. I'm sure that's something many people have relate to and would also want. So the idea is that therefore help and care for others, how they can be more financially independent. And then you will come to that yourself. Because one of the concepts is, and I see that by Joe Rogan, he's someone who's helped a lot of other people get ahead in his business. And he is financially independent from what I see. And I know myself, I want to help other people get ahead in our realm, in the world of Torah and Emuna and music and spirituality and getting out the unity message. So someone like Shlomi Zion's, I'd like him to be more successful. I'd like to help more and more people like that. Mordechai Ben Avraham, a friend of mine. I'd like to help lots and lots of people. I bring all these wonderful guests to our show. I want to bring people together with Rav Orish's wonderful light, who's already successful, thank God. He's already independent on some level. He's already built these beautiful institutes and things. We're all blessed to be part of it. I'm bringing this on his platforms. This is his opportunity to share Emuna, and he's given, thank God, a little bit of trust, or maybe a lot of trust, into people like myself to be able to be messengers for him of his message of Emuna. But it comes together with caring, and I can't do it alone. I need you guys to care what I'm saying, so that what I'm doing is being effective with my time, giving this half an hour or so a week, so you share it and show your care through share, and that will bring a much more bigger awareness of Emuna being global. Like it said by Yaakov Avinu, he went out, he was mispashet to the whole world, his light. Yaakov, and that's something which is going to happen through the light, all going through Am Yisrael, and the whole idea of our journey in this world, especially now with Tafshin Pei base. This is a time for Teheshin us, Ponim B'Ponim, that our face should be face to face. So if we can't be physically face to face, we're face to face through these platforms. We're face to face. I'm sorry with the YouTube, but right now you just see my face in still. But we're face to face through the interactive links I put below, and we can load again. It's fine. We have the Facebook version, and we've got the Instagram version, and we're going to have, please God, all the different platforms. We put it out little bits on TikTok and all the other crazy places that we've got to be nowadays. Thank God. Anyway, my blessing to all of you is that if you live effectively, remember to do it with care. Do it with a caring heart. Do it with a will to be compassionate to the people that are healthy to be compassionate towards. Once again, you have to be careful those who are not. Always those boundaries we spoke about last week. But I did, once you're focused on the compassion, you've got it clear who your sphere of influence is in a healthy way. You've got the boundaries set up. Everything emotionally is, thank God, worked through. And you're able to give to those people. Now, what if you're not? So that's the previous class. We spoke about the challenges, how to stay strong in your path. But the point is that you are caring and you're building the people around you. And then you get to the point of the you come back with success. You come back with shefa, with brocha, with everything you need to do in the world. That's my blessing, that you should do that with everything you're doing, with success and blessings. And I can't wait, Be'ez Hashem, to see you again on Sunday with the Toronto community, and again in my weekly Emuna class Monday. And please God, tomorrow, remember United Souls. And I'm putting up again and again on our Unity Flow podcast, all the different platforms we have. We'll put the links up. You share it. You make it global. I'm here by myself in Yerushalayim. Thank God. Kimitzi and Teisei Torah in my room, in a holy place, thank God. But it needs to be shared to be able to make an impact and be effective in its goal and mission of what we're doing here, to bring Emuna to the future of the humanity and bring us to our completion. Amen. Thank you again for joining. We'll see you soon in the new week.